and gentlemen, I am Sara, as always, joining you, and it was a tough draw for the Super Eagles as they could not score this afternoon against Rwanda. I think the gentleman beside me will have a lot to say about this one. Ladies and gentlemen, Klinton Codd.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? As usual, it's your boy Klinton Codd. I don't know why I feel like it's been like 10 years since we last...
Because it has been. It's been a week.
10 years, for real.
So you're how old now?
Listen. Ben, don't start with me. Don't start with me, please.
It's too early out.
It's like literally very early. Piss me off, fam. Right. Yeah, there's a lot to speak about the Super Eagles. We're going to get into it. But then again, he's introduced himself already as the guy who's always looking for a way to piss me off as a way to introduce himself, which is very creative of him. I just need to find a creative way to counter whatever it is he will come on this show against me, Ben. I said, right, Alex.
It's been that long, you forgot my name.
Oh, man.
A little bit rusty here in the studio, I think. Well, joining us as well all the way from Accra, it's the one, it's the only Gary.
Hi.
Hello, Gary.
Doing well, thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi, Klinton. Hi, Alex. Hi, Sara.
Hi.
Gary, honestly, I've missed you in Madrid because I feel like he lives in Madrid. He doesn't live in Accra. You know, with how the kind of vibe we have on this show, it feels like he lives like 10 minutes away from the studio.
Yeah.
And seeing him here again is very wonderful. It's very amazing seeing you, brother. You are shining as usual, you know. But yeah. I mean, I know it's been bad news for you with Ghana, but we're gonna get it.
Already starting. Well, let's give you guys a taste of what we have coming up on today's show.
Coming up on today's Sporty Show, we look at Nigeria's latest result, we talk everything about Victor Osimhen, and we reflect on Ronaldo's latest achievement.
Yes, guys, even though it is international break, there is still football. There is always football, in fact. And Klinton, we have to start with your Super Eagles since they played only about an hour ago now, drawing Rwanda 0-0 and coming off, of course, that 3-0 win against Benin on Saturday. But what are your initial thoughts here? Because I know you're not too pleased.
No, I mean, for the first game, I am pleased. I mean, it was a 3-0 win against Benin, which the whole of Nigeria were very happy. Felt like there was something that ignited the unity, you know, amongst the Nigerian Super Eagles. I mean, it's not really been the best news with what's been going on with them, but a 3-0 win was wonderful. In as much as I still do not understand why the whole of Nigeria is making it feel like the Super Eagles beat Real Madrid. It's just Benin. If Nigeria was not winning that game, then there would have been a very serious issue. Doesn't mean I'm discrediting their efforts and the win. Like I said, it's a whole point in the right direction. And
You can only play who you've got up against you as well.
Sorry, say that again?
You can only play who's up against you.
No, I mean, absolutely. But then again, if you come out with a win, it's a win. Like we're happy about it, right? But it wasn't. I wasn't expecting anything less than what they did on that pitch, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't. If they came out with a draw, then there would have been a very big problem, right? Which would then bring me to the next game, which is a draw here today. With Rwanda. I didn't watch the game. I don't know what happened in the game, but I was looking at the stats and there was a lot of shots. There was a lot of indications to show that Nigeria did put all their best on the pitch, but the fact that they ended it goalless is what I am slightly not very happy with. We are top on the group, very fine, we're happy. You know, there's a very popular saying in Nigeria, they say, "We're going to carry last." You know, bata make it be draw. You know, right now we are at the top there, which is fine. We are happy. But then again, why would a team like Nigeria not beat Rwanda? In as much as they, like I said, they were knocking on the door with the shots, they did everything possible. Am I happy with it? 100%. When you look at the squad, sorry, Sara, I know before they say Klinton is talking too much again. But,
No.
You know, when you look at the
I
squad...
brought my pillow today.
Whatever. But when you think about the fact that the first three, you have Victor Boniface, you have Chukwueze playing from the right, and then you then have, what's it called? Ademola Lookman. Like, just look at that front three. These are global superstars. The fact that Osimhen is even in the bench.
He came on as well.
I mean, he came on eventually,
minutes.
but I'm just saying, like, when you look at a team like that and then you look at our bench, Rwanda should look at that team and say, ref, just end this game before it starts. Just give them the 3 points, right? But then again, if they decide to say, no, we are going to play and we're going to come out with a draw, that's a win for Rwanda. The fact that Nigeria will play Rwanda, I understand that people don't like me when I say this, that, oh yeah, Nigeria should be winning a team like that with like 6 goals minimum. And they've come out with a draw. I see it as a win for Rwanda. It's 1 point each, but am I very satisfied? 100% no. You know, with the caliber of players we have, like, I mean, you don't have Victor Osimhen on the bench. Like, that's how crazy our team. It's almost like when people speak about Manchester City, right? And then say they are taking off Haaland to bring in Alvarez when he was still there. Or let's say a team like maybe Liverpool. You take, I don't know, like I'm just talking about top teams that have crazy bench, yeah? And then they go into playing a team whom you would expect them to lash at least 8. When you see what Barcelona did to revive the lead, that's what I would have expected.
Hey, well done.
I'm doing well.
Lives in Spain, ladies and gentlemen.
No, of course. I mean, when you think about, you know, what top teams would do to teams who are not really up there proper, that's what I expected Nigeria to do to Rwanda. So a draw, nah. I'm not very satisfied.
Gary, is Klinton giving Nigeria too much credit here? Granted, they do have the players, but comparing them to the likes of a Liverpool or Man City against a team like Rwanda, even though we know Nigeria have been struggling for several years now. Oh, I think Gary's gone. Gary will be back. He always comes back. Alex, I'll direct that one right to you.
Yeah, I mean, it feels, obviously, you know, Klinton talked about it. It feels like a step in the right direction. It's a positive result against Benin, a 3-0 win. That's good. You know, for Ademola Lookman to get 2 and then Osimhen to come off the bench and get a goal is good. I think it's ticking all the right boxes. But then I think this result proves that they can't get ahead of themselves. You know, it's each step at a time. It's a slow process. You know, it's been a tumultuous last 3 weeks, even, you know, 2 weeks with, you know, a manager coming in, a manager leaving, you know, Eguavoen coming back for his, well, I want to say 3rd spell, including caretaker spells and technical director spells, maybe even his 4th spell. But I think when you look at the journey that this Nigerian football team is on, Benin was a step in the right direction, but there are going to be obstacles in this journey, and there are going to be teams that you come up against that will prove a tough test, like Rwanda, and I feel like they shouldn't get ahead of themselves. They shouldn't also be too down about a result like Rwanda, because, you know, it's a World Cup qualifier. They're still top of the group. They're 4 points.
AFCON.
You know, AFCON, yes. You know, there are positives to take from it, and I feel like with, you know, the new coach and, you know, a new culture that he wants to implement on this team, it's definitely looking positive more than negative.
Speaking about World Cup qualifiers, though, that's where Nigeria are struggling, because in Group C, they are sitting 5th out of 6 with 4 matches played and only 3 points from those 4 matches. Meanwhile, Rwanda sitting at the top of the group with 7 points. Now, the next World Cup qualifiers aren't until March. You could have a new coach by then. New players could be introduced. It is a very long time from now. But I think the concern right now is, yes, they're at the top of the group for AFCON, but it is the World Cup qualifier matches that they are going to need to turn it around, because it's been a poor performance from them. Here you go. How so far, Nigeria, yes, top of the group for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Klinton, how do you feel about your new manager, Eguavoen?
I mean, first of all, I think they've had the first game under him, which was a 3-0 win, which is good, right? I've always said it, that the Nigerian Super Eagles should not be a team any manager should struggle with, or any manager who understands the job of a manager. Like, when you compare the Nigerian team, and I mean it when I compare Nigeria to a team like Manchester City, we are star-studded. And when I say star-studded, we are talking about international, global superstars, right? If I tell you, mention one superstar from Benin, I'm sure you do not know even one. Like, who's their goalkeeper? Who's their striker? Who is their winger, for Christ's sake? What's even the name of their coach? Like, what's the name of the most popular stadium in Benin? Like, there are so many people that will tell you that the only Benin they know is the Benin in Edo State of Nigeria, which is next to the state where I come from, right? Now, if the coach is beating a team like Benin, right, I would be like, yeah, that is what I would expect. Alex, as a matter of fact, if you coach to the Nigerian team and they don't beat Benin, right, I would be like, wow, your problem might be spiritual. Now, Rwanda, on the other hand, which Nigeria have struggled with, I'm just looking at the Nigerian team, like I said. Okay, let's look at Rwanda again. Who is the most popular player or the most crazy player from Rwanda? Do you know his name? I do not know. When was the last time Rwanda won something crazy? Or when was the last time they were put on the map when it comes to football? I do not know. Like, if we are speaking about countries like Senegal, Cameroon, or we are speaking about, say, Mali, Ghana, right? I'll be like, all right, these are tough African countries that are known for football. When you look at Ghana, you're talking about the likes of, Thomas Partey, Kudus, the Ayus. Like, these are players who are also known. So, if Nigeria went on a clash with them, right, you would be like, okay, this is tough because these people are also very good at it. But these other teams where it's like we didn't even know they had a national team. And Nigeria goes in to play them with all our superstars, with big likes of Victor Boniface, Victor Osimhen, we have Ademola Lookman, Chukwueze, we have Ndidi, we have Taiwo Awoniyi, we have Basi, like Ekong. These are guys who are known in the footballing world. Why do you not go in and beat these little teams? Mm-hmm. So we know that when the real teams face you, we will say, okay, this is the point where you need to put up a proper fight. Like, I would expect Nigerian players to close their eyes and beat these kind of teams. Now, I'm not a footballer. I don't know what it feels like on the pitch because that's what the defense, they might say, yeah, people just speak from the outside. You don't know how it is on the pitch, right? But on paper, they should be going in there playing even the junior team. They don't even need our superstars to play games like that, and they should be delivering a win. So if they are going in with all these stars, Victor Osimhen coming in later on, and they still can't drop in a goal, mm-hmm. We're speaking about the likes of Victor Osimhen. He's the most talked about striker as we speak, right? The whole world went on silence just because of his transfer saga, right? These are the people coming in to play a team, and we are still coming out with a draw. Listen, I don't want to be the guy who's negative, and I don't want to be the guy who they will say, "Oh, you should be happy we went with the draw." But I'm not happy with it.
We have a comment here from YouTube from Elijah saying, Klinton, the Super Eagles didn't play bad. They did what was expected of them. The goal just didn't come. At least we had the ball at the back of the net, but bad officiating caused us that. Obviously very controversial, but I think your point still stands in that a team like Nigeria should not be relying on, a 1-2 chance. They should be hammering a team like Rwanda. I heard that Gary has joined us again. Gary, can I ask you what your thoughts are of this star-studded Nigerian side with so many players playing against Rwanda that we know all too well across Europe? What are your initial thoughts with this Super Eagles team right now and how they're looking?
First of all, I thought that we should give credit to Rwanda, especially their goalkeeper. He was phenomenal on the day. His name was, I'm not sure if I'm getting the pronunciation correct, Intuari Fias or something like that, but he was phenomenal. And Nigeria had 50.9% of the ball. But like the last person who sent Klinton the comment said, it was one of those days where Rwanda simply, they did something to ensure that Nigeria did not score. It was an auspicious occasion as well, to give it some context, because it was the first game at the new Amahoro Stadium, right? When Rwanda had a genocide, if you watch Hotel Rwanda, in the midst of all the whatever that was going on, they sought refuge at the old stadium. And that has been their national stadium since for decades. Now, I was in Rwanda last year, and they were putting this stadium where they played this game up in record time. And as you know, Rwanda, they're sort of like one of the darling boys of Africa. They put up a world-class basketball arena in 6 months, and 6 months dead. And this is Africa. You can't even lay a foundation for a project like that if it's funded by government in 2 years. They did it in 6 months dead. And this is Rwanda, that is a landlocked country. And, so it was a special game for them. They made sure their president was there, all the dignitaries were there. And for them, whether it was they were really pumped. If you follow the build up to the game, they were not about to let the Super Eagles take anything away, So that's the context to which this was exciting for them as well. And I think that last comment was quite right. Look, they got the ball at the back of the net, and I thought that the Super Eagles were hard done by. I thought it should have been a good goal. You know what I mean? I thought it should have been a good goal. I agree that the officiating was not the best. Otherwise, Nigeria should have won. But hey, it is what it is. And Nigeria finished the international window with 4 points from 6. That's not too bad, especially if you are Ghana and you can't even score a goal. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're going to come to Ghana, though, because I feel like Ghana, your situation is actually far worse, right? But we'll definitely get... I mean, in Nigeria, we're still winning 1 or 2 games. Now, but, somebody also commented, and that's from Makinde. Makinde said Nigeria should be winning that match comfortably. It was a good display, though. Kudos to Rwanda. Klinton has said it all. Yes, I always say it all. The commentator did not even know any of the Rwanda's players' name, and which is something I just mentioned how many minutes ago. I understand. Maybe, like I said, I didn't watch the game. I don't know the level of inputs that was put on by the Super Eagles, right? If they put a goal at the back of the net and maybe officiating ruled it out or whatever has happened, I still believe that it shouldn't just be that one opportunity playing against Rwanda, right? They should be telling me that bad officiating is the fact that the keeper tried to cancel about 6 goals or 5 of them. Then we'll be like, all right, Super Eagles, you did everything you can, but the ref just decided to say no way. I said it again. Rwanda should be a team that Nigeria should be beating comfortably. Mm-hmm. And when I say comfortably, I'm talking about even if they cancel 2 goals, we still won the game. That's what I mean by comfortably, right? Listen, after even Gary, who's a football expert, was even doubting his pronunciation of the Rwandan keeper. And I'm sure he only found out today. Okay, he probably didn't know prior to today, and it's to tell you that these are. but Gary, am I right or right? Choose one. No, but you see, I'm proud of the Super Eagles. I'm not trying to say I'm not proud of them. We have the talent. We have everything it takes to beat any country in Africa if we wanted to. If at all we are going to draw in a few countries, maybe South Africa. Ghana right now, we should be beating Ghana comfortably. Gary, sorry, from what you guys are doing, we should, by standard. Like I said, look at the front 3, though. Look at the front 3. You don't understand. Let's forget about the midfield and the defense and the goal. Our goalkeeper is probably one of the best in Africa as we speak. Nwabali is like next level. We think that Nigeria found a treasure in that guy. Yeah, but I'm just talking about the likes of Lookman, Boniface, and Chukwueze. These are exceptional talents. I saw a goal that Chukwueze scored against Real Madrid, and since that day, you don't understand. I've seen him with a whole different, vision. I've seen him like, bruh, we have players in that country. We have. I don't understand. Hey, do you know what it means that Victor Osimhen, is on the bench? He's not on the bench because he's the less best, but obviously because of.
I need to show Klinton something.
Oh, here we go.
Gary has gone to research. Oh, this boy.
This is
Gary.
Group C of the World Cup qualifiers.
No, we already saw this before, but we didn't want to talk about this. See, Gary,
we brought it up. Don't you worry.
Gary, see this.
Lesotho.
Gary, this is the problem. You always have high blood pressure, and you want to just. But we didn't say bring evidence. Leave evidence for one corner first. Let's talk the talk.
They are not bad. The fact of the matter is that Rwanda are not bad. Like, they're playing some really good football this year.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing good football. But
too hard on your boys.
No, but
don't be too hard on your boys.
No, I'm not too hard, and that's the thing. Like, listen, if I wanted to be too hard, I think I'll probably go extremely hard. But like I said, it's a work in progress, right? Okay, yeah. That display didn't need to come on the screen, Like,
they put the graphic.
I don't understand. Like, somebody cannot joke with Ghanaians these days. Any little thing, bam, they're going to be looking for evidence.
Well, before we get into Ghana, Gary, just a friendly reminder that SportyTV has you covered for all of the matches across the globe. this week, starting off with Peru and Ecuador in World Cup qualifiers. Later today, Ecuador looking for some revenge after they lost to Brazil. There's an international friendly between New Zealand and the U.S. tomorrow. Looking ahead to Friday, Ronaldo is in action against Riyad Mahrez' side in the Saudi Pro League. Heading to Saturday, we have the EFL Championship with Millwall and Luton, and the big match, Liverpool taking on Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, as well as Bayern Munich taking on Holstein Kiel on Saturday as well. And Sunday is all about the Serie A and La Liga with Fiorentina and, oh, I've lost my page. I almost nailed that, guys. Atalanta taking on Fiorentina and Las Palmas taking on Athletic Bilbao and the Williams brothers. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials, guys, and we got you covered for all the football ahead. All right, Klinton, it is now time to sear Ghana, because they did, in fact, draw Niger 1-1 after losing 1-0 to Angola.
I mean, that's why I say we Nigerians, we are still way miles ahead. We won and then we drew. Their one is that they lost and then they drew.
Hold on, Gary, it's coming.
Gary, don't hide your face.
No. I mean, it's not a surprise. It's been coming. I mean, our last very decent performance tournament-wise was in 2017. 2019, 2019 we got out of the Africa Cup of Nations very, very shamefully. 2021 and the following one, we did not win a single game across both AFCONs. You get what I'm saying? So it's been coming. These days, Ghana finds it difficult to beat teams in order: Comoros, Central African Republic, Madagascar, countries like that. Those are the countries that we consider tough matches now. That is our level. Ghana is not a top 10 African team, and we have not been for a while. That's the truth. So if you look at the top 10 table every month or every whatever that comes out, often you will not see us in the top 10. Sometimes it's an accumulation of whatnot and whatnot, but that is our level right now. So the situation is that we have a new coach who used to be like sort of a temporary hire. We used to share him with Borussia Dortmund, Otuado. Now we've got him permanently as the coach of the side, but something is just not working. All right. First of all, we have a penchant of conceding goals very late, losing concentration and conceding goals very late, or conceding goals and having to come back to claw draws and stuff like that. In our last couple of games, that has been the story. We needed a Jordan Ayew hat-trick or else an individually brilliant performance from somebody to get us out of the ledge. That's what has happened. Otuado, since his return, has won 2 out of 5 matches. And it is not even the way we draw games or lose games. It is not that we lose games or draw games. It is the way we do it that's the challenge. And I think that all Ghanaians watching right now and those who watch the Black Stars will point to Sara, the fact that we have to be honest, there is a commitment issue from the team. Because if you look at the squad of players, and if you want to bet this weekend, the starting 11 that we paraded against Niger and the one we paraded also against Angola, from goalkeeper to striker, they are having very decent seasons.
Yeah.
So nobody knows what's going on. Like, nobody knows absolutely what's going on. Jordan Ayew just moved from Crystal Palace to Leicester City, and he's bagging the goals. He just won goal of the month for Leicester City. Abdul Fattah Isahaku, all the guys, Majid Ashimeru, Thomas Partey, we know what his contribution to Arsenal has been at the start of the season already. They are just not pairing. Kudus Mohammed, same. Look, I think that, and this might be a controversial take, I think that something is missing from the fabric of the team from a moral point of view. The boys do not feel motivated, and this is not financial at all. There's something about the shirts that is missing from the boys right now. And it's so many theories. When they come for the national team, and especially when we are playing home games, our pitches are very bad, first of all. So these guys who are paid whatnot and whatnot, I mean, if you look at the African qualifiers right now, Nigeria has decent pitches at home. Everybody has decent pitches at home. Ghana is one of the only, if I'm not exaggerating, one or two nations with potato pitches, and it's been consistent for a while. We can't be doing this to our boys. We cannot be doing this to our boys. Fine, somebody will argue that in the game we played against Angola last week, the potato pitch was very, very bad. Granted. And then we went to play in Morocco, which pitch was very, very good. But, so I don't want to make excuses. But the fact of the matter is that Sarah, Klinton, Alex, and a lot of Ghanaians are going to comment and see the same thing. We have a serious commitment issue from some of our best players who we expect to be, going the extra tackle. When they are going into that tackle, they are slinking at the last moment. They are not putting their entire foot there. I don't understand why. They are not running the full yards of pace that you want them to. And I cannot say that I'm sitting here and I know why that is the case. Unfortunately, we don't have another set of players somewhere that we can call, because these literally are our best players. Maybe a year ago, we would have been saying that, oh, we are not calling the right players. Otuado is literally calling our best 25 we have in the world right now, and it's not working. So I'm the wrong person to ask what's the problem. I'm at a loss.
I mean, I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
ask Gary. Gary, just looking at the Ghanaian squad,
Yeah.
obviously you've mentioned these guys doing so well, globally. You mentioned the coaches selected the best 25 from Ghana. Do you think that maybe if coaches, especially African coaches, start thinking about looking at boys who are playing locally, there's guys who, they have something to lose. It's almost like they will play as good as playing for their life. Because when I look at the Super Eagles at times, I always say to myself that, maybe because of what they tend to do in Europe, right? Trying to play in a manner where they don't want to have any kind of injuries. They want to be able to come perform in clubs where they've been signed to and play to that high. If coaches start thinking about using people who have been bred locally, do you think that could have some kind of impact on the results that we are getting from, these are our players?
Klinton, to answer your question, unfortunately, we don't have, like I said, these are the best players we have. I mean, give or take, in every team, we can say these are the best players we have, but in one or two positions, you can say, oh, this guy's, but generally, these are the best players we have. We don't have any other better players anywhere. Okay. So it's a challenge, because if you are players then and they are not performing at this level, we don't have money issues. I mean, we don't have bonuses issues. All these things are things of the past. So coming into the local Ghanaian Premier League, come on, please. The quality is not great,
Okay.
because the quality is not great. We in Africa we have what we call the chant team. That's the local version of every national team. Our local Chan team is not even able to qualify for the African Championship, and that is against their fellow African team. So that should give you an idea of just how much we are lacking on the local players front. Some Ghanaians have said that, you know what, if your guys in Europe are having commitment issues because they are thinking about their salaries and they don't want to give 100% or 200% when they come down, you should probably just draft the best of what you have at home and see, because they would give 100% or 200%. They would tackle, they would give sweat and blood. But the fact of the matter is that the quality will show in the end. Maybe we have come to the point where the coaches must actually do that to show the likes of Thomas Partey and Kudus and all these players, and Jordan Ayew and Fatah Isahaku, that there's something at stake here and your positions are not granted. I don't believe in the quality of the Ghana Premier League, to be very honest. But maybe if we call these players and the coach gives them a pep talk and tells them that look, the likes of Gary and the others don't believe in you. Go and show them what you've got and put them to shame. Maybe that's what we need, because really, if you look at how we are playing, it's not it. It's absolutely not it.
I mean, I think I agree there's a foundation issue with Ghana, but I think I'm also just reading a little bit here. People are complaining about the pitch. Gary, you were bringing up the pitch as well. Unfortunately, I think this is a bigger issue with the Confederation of African Football. We see this a lot, sometimes in South America and CONCACAF, but especially in North America, in CONCACAF rather than CONMEBOL. This is something that all teams in Africa have to deal with, unfortunately. And it's the same thing in North America, in Central America, and sometimes in South America. It's something that the federations need to be better at, but I don't think it's fair that teams are going to go and blame this, because the reality is that most teams are going to have to play on a poor pitch in one or two of their qualifying matches. And if you guys are going to blame the pitch, this is a bigger problem. You know what I mean? You guys got to go to your federations, and your federations need to take care of you. But I don't think, we can say Nigeria, Ghana, whomever is playing poorly because of that.
At the end of the day, everyone's playing on the same pitch, so if they lose, the other team is playing on that same pitch.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was literally just going to say that. Because
some people obviously might be more used to,
of course,
playing, like Gary said, all the players playing in the Premier League, they're used to these
pristine.
They're like lawns. You go into the back garden at Buckingham Palace, it's like that. But obviously when they go from playing on top quality pitches in the Premier League to then going to play on pitches that are substandard, then maybe it is harder to adapt to compared to someone who is maybe not as used to playing on the top quality pitches, and because these worse pitches, they bobble, the ball will bounce when you're not expecting it to.
I mean, injuries.
Exactly. So players, there is an element of that a player will be more used to playing on a pitch that is not at the top level standards, and then that does leave them an advantage. But like you said, at the end of the day, it's down to the federations to invest more money where they can to improve the quality of the pitches.
Gary, before we move along, you did something very exciting this week. Do you want to tell us a little bit about who you spoke to in Accra?
Well, thankfully, the player has been unveiled officially in the last 2 hours, I think. Barcelona B has unveiled 2 Ghanaian players. The first who was announced, David Odro. I think we spoke about him before the international break when that deal was officialized, right? And we spoke about it, that he moved from a club here that is partly owned by Lothar Matthäus. Accra Lions straight to Barca, and they have been unveiled today. So good times. I spoke to him just before he went to the eve of his travel to Spain, and he was very happy. There he is.
There he is, David Oduro. Yes, Gary sat down with David Oduro and spoke to him about his new move to Barcelona, and we will have that exclusive for you on SportyTV as well. All right, let's stick with some African football, though, here, guys, because with all this talk about Nigeria and how they're doing, the question comes up as who really is the best Nigerian football of all time? Klinton, you look like you're going to cry.
Wow.
As an England fan, I can relate to your struggle.
You don't want to do this.
Why? Are you okay?
You don't want to do this.
He's just sitting with his hands.
He just remembered Manchester United are playing again this weekend. Or is it Chelsea? I forget.
Oh, God, stop that, man. African player of are you talking about now or forever?
The best Nigerian footballer of all time. Also, comment in our YouTube, who do you guys think is the best Nigerian footballer? Because I'm sure we all will probably not agree.
Oof.
When you think of Nigerian football, who is the face of it? Who really is the best that has come out of the country?
I mean, first of all, for me, right, it's a very difficult question because there's been a lot of fantastic players to come out of Nigeria, and I can't even start mentioning. When you go back in history, I don't even want to go too much, but when you think about the likes of J.J. Okocha, who made a lot of us love football from Nigeria, the likes of Kano Nwankwo, these are people who we made personalized music for. So when I talk about the likes of J.J. Okocha, you will hear songs like he give unto that to Agali to Okocha, Okocha to Dineto, Nambo, Kobi, Nambo, Kovido. So these are people that made Nigerian football look so very attractive. And But then again, you look at now also, there are also people who are still putting Nigeria on the map. I give an example, Victor Osimhen currently, who is, right, Rashidi Yekini is actually very popular.
So Markinde actually did comment saying that will be Rashidi Yekini.
No, Rashidi Yekini, his name is up there. He's literally like one of the all-time greats. I can't even lie. I mean, Victor Osimhen, would he break that 100%? He's very young. He has a very high prospect of breaking Rashidi Yekini's legacy. Yakubu, now let me tell you something about Yakubu. Yakubu is not, Yakubu is, even Gary is laughing. Let me tell you something about the name Yakubu. Yakubu is not in the Nigerian dictionary for Mrs., right? So for example, if a woman misses her, right, okay, I think this
Wow, we are taking a left turn. Let's just move it along here. Ooh.
If a woman misses her way to the shop,
that means she has Yakubu. She just okay, that's a better one.
Klinton, you owe me.
You owe me. Gary, send me your PayPal, man, after this show. Then you deserve it.
Thank you very much. I'm sending it right now.
He came to my rescue because after this show, some people would have grilled me proper on 180 degrees in the grill. Now Yakubu, just the same way we were talking about the likes of Rashidi Yekini, Yakubu is known for just that craziness that he had, and we would never forget. It's one of those sins that you commit. If you read the Bible, there's what they call the besetting sin. It's one of those sins the Holy Ghost does not forgive. Now, Yakubu did the beset. Look at this guy. No, but Yakubu, just that miss alone. I mean, even there's a rapper called M.I. He even put it in his rap, and that song was so popular. Keep missing Yakubu. Like, the way he did that whole write-up, it was just next level, right? So, Yakubu, definitely not. Was he a good player? 100% just with that miss. Nope, he's not coming up to being somebody I would regard as the best. But Rashidi Yekini, his name is on the map. But all-time best. All-time best. And if we are not speaking about trophies, if we're we're just talking about pure gameplay, fact is, I will go for a lot of them.
Gary, JJ Okocha or Kanu Nwankwo? Two,
so
between
good
the two.
Name him twice. This is not my Arsenal bias speaking, but I'd go Kanu Nwankwo. This is not my Arsenal bias speaking, I promise.
It's a lie. Gary's lying. Gary went there because he's Arsenal.
Why would I say that? Because both players dominated in the national team, but club-wise, probably Kanu did a bit more in terms of actually what he won than JJ.
True. Absolutely.
Alex has
But in terms of sheer popularity, in terms of crazy, silly popularity, I mean,
Okocha.
I don't think Kanu can light a candle to JJ Okocha. I mean,
and that's the thing. Just before you go to Alex, you know, Okocha was known for something, right? And it was just the skills. They just knew that Okocha was literally he was a playmaker. As a matter of fact, even the likes of Ronaldo or even Lionel Messi, they would tell you that this guy was just some unusual African who was just so good with the ball. And we saw it. There are so many evidences, so many things he's done on the pitch, and you would just say, this guy is a pure magician. Now, the problem is, everything JJ Okocha did at his time, what did he yield? What was the result? And that's where people have problems with. People just say, all the skills, what did he fetch you? You know, what did he use them for? How many titles? I'm talking about, club titles. You were just good with, playing around with people. Okocha was just somebody who was maybe like Lionel Messi or Ronaldo, right? But these other guys, they yielded results with the clubs that he played. With JJ Okocha, obviously, he played for PSG, played for Bolton. Question is, what did he get out of the fact that he was playing on that level that he was playing? But then you think about the like of Kanu Nwankwo, right? Who is still today, if he goes to Arsenal, they still regard him as a legend. Why? Because, he probably has a lot in his cabinet, from when he played. And when you go back to Nigeria, where he played as a super, like I think the Nigerian Super Eagles at the time, every single one player played their life out. Like if we went back in time today and you see how these guys played back in the days, and you look at what the guys are doing today, you would just say, these are two different countries, right? You're talking about the likes of Sunday Olise. You're talking about, the Victor Ikpeba. Like these are men that when you hear their name, when you see them line up on that pitch, when you remember Atlanta 96, when you saw them marching out, you will just know that this Nigeria would battle Brazil and we beat Brazil. There's still a song for that till today. When Nigeria win Brazil, when Nigeria win Brazil, oh, Bebeto Conde cry. When Nigeria win Brazil, oh, when Nigeria win Brazil. This was what we were doing then. Do you understand? Like it was almost like we were not scared of any team. Our team would go head to head with you, and we can come out with a win if you're not careful. This was the kind of caliber of players we had. Now we are drawing Rwanda. Right? No,
Oh my God.
No.
It's all looking grim.
That's a long drop, that.
No, wait. I mean, so you see, this is. I mean, I understand Gary was talking about the fact that Ghana will struggle to win teams. I don't remember. I can't even remember the teams he was even mentioning, minutes ago. But it's to tell you that even
Central African Republic, Cameroon.
you see. So now when you compare what they did before, Nigeria, I'm telling you that Nigeria. Even let's go back to 2018. Let's just go back to 2018 here during it was the World Cup, right? Look at people like Ahmed Musa facing Argentina, scoring against Argentina, playing with Lionel Messi on the same pitch and putting up a game. In as much as we may lose the game, but you will see that these boys are going to die on the pitch. I mean, now it's almost like, okay, we don't need to go fight for that bat because we've not had the opportunity to play on that level anymore. Let's just play Rwanda. Let's play. I'm telling you that Benin, I didn't even know they even had pitches in that country, right? And then we win 3-0, and I'm telling you, like I said, I'm happy with the win. I'm happy because my country won. I'm happy with what the boys put up. But the way we celebrated that win, the fact that Osimhen is like, I'm like, fam, listen, it's Benin. You understand? If this was Cameroon, if this was Senegal, if this was, like I said, Ghana is not up there, right? As at when Ghana was Ghana, there was a time that if Nigeria and Ghana was playing, it felt like Barcelona and Real Madrid. I remember once Ghana came to Abuja to play, and they actually beat us in our home. Yeah? Listen, you don't understand. Like, I'm
glad you mentioned that. As bad as we are, we can be as bad as we are. We meet you, we settle it, we finish you. So that's
no. You see, when
Nigeria
Nigeria faces Ghana, it's more than football. It's just personal beef. Like you see this whole Jollof war, because we've won that war times that number. So when they meet us on the pitch, it's like, okay, yeah, we want to pay back. Like I know in South Africa they're trying to get into that equation, but South Africa they don't know that they are just kids. Like we don't. They wanted to use boats and Uber and all these things to threaten us, and then we had to mellow. I don't know if you heard that story on social media. But no, the bar is so low. To answer the question again, who is the best player?
I'm waiting for you to answer, sorry.
But I mean, let's take it to somebody.
Well, Alex,
He's waking up when he's come to a conclusion.
Yeah, no, I'm shading. No, Alex, I was going to ask you, obviously, as a non-Nigerian, as a non-African, who, obviously much younger than Klinton.
Whatever.
Right, it just had to, it was, I thought about it, there was hesitation. I was hesitation and I thought about it, I did it. Klinton, I'm sorry. Who comes to mind when you think of Nigerian football? Whether it's past or present, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and you would have seen, for those of you who have been on Twitter over the last week or two, there's a thing going around called Barclays Men, and it's reminiscing about prime Barclays Premier League players, such as Yakubu, JJ Okocha. Growing up watching those players, there's a brilliant story somewhere of Harry Redknapp saying he had a bet with Yakubu, and he said, if you score 17 goals this season, I'll give you £20,000. Last game, he scored like 3 or 4 goals. Harry Redknapp took him off, and the Yakubu was like, "Oh, I'm really upset, boss. I was one goal away from getting the 17 goals." And he said, "If you'd have known that, if I'd have known that, I would have taken you off about half an hour ago." So, Yakubu, JJ Okocha, watching those players growing up, like you said, sort of you see them and you try and like imitate them when you go outside to the park. And yeah, I think they're probably my favourite players. But in terms of who's the best, I'd probably have to go to. It's a hard one, but Michael Kanu, I think, because he's won the Premier League with Arsenal countless, 2-3 times, I think. He's won the Champions League with Ajax. He's probably the most successful, and I think that for me is results. So I'd go for him as probably the best Nigerian player of all time.
There is still time, Victor Osimhen.
No, I mean, listen, like I said, Victor Osimhen has serious potential to be in the all-time best in Nigeria. I mean, he's literally on the right path so far. He has a very classic record with Napoli. You know, already he's gone to Galatasaray, which I believe we're going to speak about at some point.
We're moving right along. We're moving right along. We're got places to go and people to see. Yeah, we will see. We will see what Victor Osimhen has in store. Because yes,
Kanu also won the Olympics, by the way.
There you go.
Who? Sorry?
Kanu.
Kanu won the Olympics.
Kanu won. Oh, so you see.
Kanu won the Olympics. Yeah.
I think he's probably the most decorated player in the Super Eagles, like in history, though. It's probably.
Twice African Footballer of the Year.
Probably.
Well.
All right, well, let's move along from Africa to some European football because there was a lot happening over the weekend. Take a look at this.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, that is Cristiano Ronaldo, a lovely reel put together by Mr. Alex Ashmore. Cristiano Ronaldo scores his 900th career goal across club and country for Portugal against Scotland in the Nations League this past weekend. So I got overwhelmed here with this stat board. 133 goals for Portugal, 450 for Real Madrid, 145 for Manchester United, 101 for Juve, 68 for Al Nassr, and 5 for the good old Sporting Lisboa, where he started. Klinton called 900 goals. Could you do it?
I mean, it's very easy, to be honest.
I think he has, but it's just nowhere written down on paper or on the internet anywhere. But we have to take his word for it.
No, I mean, if we literally go back to the team where I played for back in Luton, where Victor Moses has just gone to. I mean,
Robert?
Yeah, we went to the same city, but not the same team, sorry. 900 goals, you know, saying it from the bottom of my heart, I think that's a lot for a player. I know people think I don't like Ronaldo on this show, which is absolutely wrong. The fact is, I like stating fact. I like saying it the way it is. And if it's good, I will say this is good. If it's bad, I'll tell you that, okay, this is bad. Ronaldo getting up to 900 goals, and probably 901 now from...
Sorry, it's 901 from... our friend Mark and Day has told us this. Just fact-checking us.
It's going to get to a point, we're going to create a whole space for
against Scotland.
Mark and Day is
genuinely
one of the presenters on this show, just online. No, I think Ronaldo is done exceptionally well. I don't know if it's even possible for anybody to break that in this coming generation of players. I'm trying to think about... I've looked at Haaland, and Haaland seems to be that guy whom maybe, if he continues the way he's going, he might get there maybe when he gets to Ronaldo's age. But I think Ronaldo is taking the bar so high when it comes to goal scoring that it's just incredible. You know, knowing that he still scores a goal at age 39, he's still... Yeah, maybe if this was Al Nassr, people would have said, oh, yeah, but it's just the Saudi League, which I understand that is a joke. I've watched a few games in the Saudi. No offense to Saudi players or people that play back there. But, you know, the level of play there compared to what they do in Europe is totally different. But then again, for somebody at that age, Ronaldo's age, still scoring, I think it's just next level. And I give it to him. But then again, am I surprised though? I'm not very surprised. Ronaldo has been the guy who has been extremely hardworking. You know, he's very direct as to what he wants. He's the guy who's looking after himself exceptionally. I don't think there's anybody on earth who I've seen look after themselves as crazy as Ronaldo. Yes, he's got the money. He does everything possible to make sure he's in shape. And he's doing what people who are half his age are not still able to do on the pitch. So, you know, we just have to give credit to him.
Who's writing out here? Who's writing is Ronaldo now the GOAT? Somebody in the producer room is having a field day. Relax.
Now, I mean, listen, if we want to go into that particular conversation, I can tell you for free that even if Ronaldo gets to 1,000 goals by this time next week,
if he gets to
he's still not going to be the GOAT.
Just to put it in context, you talked about Haaland potentially reaching that. disregarding international football, just club football, if Ronaldo stopped playing football today and never played another game, Haaland would have to score, for the next 15 seasons, Haaland would have to score 51 goals a season for 15 seasons just to level Ronaldo.
Wow. This is just club football?
Yeah, just club football.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't really do too much with Norway.
Yeah. No, but that's just saying it like that, I just feel it's so impossible.
51 goals for 15 seasons.
I mean, he could do it for probably 2 seasons, but to just be consistent, that's next level. I think this kind of statistics is the reason why sometimes we need to, when we want to feel like, he's old, he's not doing so well on the pitch, it's always good to just go back to these records to see how hardworking these players have. When you speak about the likes of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, how many goals is Lionel Messi on currently?
838.
Yeah, he's not far behind. But
which is still next level though.
These 2 years younger.
Yes, off the top of my head, he is a little bit younger. He's obviously got countless number of assists compared to Ronaldo. I think that's very different.
But then you see, and this is where I would always give Messi even.
Oh, there you go.
This is where I would give Lionel Messi even full-on credit, right? I see somebody who has played as a midfielder like nearly all his career, and is still topping the goal, not even as a striker. I don't know if there's any points in time where Messi played as a striker in Barcelona. I don't know. But I've known Messi to be the guy who, like you said, nobody has more assists than Lionel Messi, 100%. And it's only because he's the one who finds you the goal. So the fact that he still has goals following the all-time top scorer, I think this is why I call him the GOAT. I'm sorry to say Ronaldo is done exceptionally well when it comes to the goals, but Messi playing as a midfielder and still having these goal numbers. Hey, bruh, listen. I mean, which midfielder do you think currently would play as a midfielder and try to, let's say, the rest of their career and still try to get up to that kind of record?
I mean, midfielders now, the only one that really comes to mind is Cole Palmer, but he's got a long way to even reach levels like that. But to do, obviously he takes the penalties. He's brilliant at free kicks as well. But I think it's not so much. There are 2 different questions. The best footballer of all time for me is Messi, and between the 2 is Messi. The best goal scorer is Cristiano Ronaldo. I think they're 2 different questions. And, Ronaldo, if you want someone in your team to be a leader, to be someone who's going to perhaps lift that team above to another level where they perhaps couldn't get to without someone, he is that man. But just on pure ability and technique, Messi is levels above everyone else.
No, I think Messi's own is just, it's unnatural. It's not the usual. I think his one is just something you would never be able to explain, no matter the kind of investigations you want to make spiritually, physically. Messi's one is just on a whole different stuff. And I don't like speaking about Messi because I get really emotional when I get there. Gary, go on.
First on Saudi
He had his hand up.
First on Saudi Arabia, Ronald Koeman, so basically, Klinton is mirroring what the Dutch manager Ronald Koeman is saying. And actually, if you have not heard, one of his main players, that's Steven Bergwijn. Is it Bergwijn or Bergwijn? Well, how do they pronounce it?
Bergwijn.
Bergwijn, yeah. He's moved to Saudi Arabia, and Ronald Koeman was asked about, his future in the national team, and he basically said the door is closed because he considers the Saudi league as not being a place where a Dutch national team player should be. Now, the player clapped back, but something interesting has happened. One of the main goal scorers of the Dutch national team in Memphis Depay has moved to Corinthians in Brazil.
Yeah, this is huge.
And he has been asked the same question that, hang on, if you say Bergwijn has gone to Saudi and the door is closed, what are you saying about Memphis Depay? And you know what he says? Oh, the Brazilian league is better in quality.
We might have lost Gary. Did we lose him? That's fine. Well, guys, we have to wrap up. We have just a few minutes here, but just on what Gary said, with the way Brazilians pump out footballers like it's a toy factory. I would argue that the skill level is probably higher in the Brazilian league than in the Saudi league. Maybe not the talent. We know there's some amazing footballers in the Saudi league, but I think overall, like, I don't think people understand what it's like to play in South America. And I think that also alone, the passion going to these different stadiums, it is like a war every time you play your rivals. So I can understand maybe what he's saying. And I think it will take a really long time for people to kind of acknowledge the Saudi league as something legitimate.
I think it's the money more than anything. Obviously, when you talk about South America, there's some brilliant players, but as soon as they show a morsel of talent, that's it. They get snapped up by someone in Europe, and they don't. The Brazilian league, they don't have enough time to show their talents in the Brazilian league or the Argentinian league or the Colombian league. So I think the money in Saudi just means that all of the top players are going there, obviously in the latter stages of their career, but who knows, maybe in 5 years' time we might see some top players going there at their peak.
Well, we do have to go, but we will be back tomorrow because we do have a very special guest. Arnaut Danjuma sits down with Klinton, the man from Girona. Let's see what he has to say. We hope you guys enjoy that. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, lots of footy in between, and a lot to look forward to this weekend. Until then, enjoy the football.
Well.